Brother, check out this Vaush debate that you guys sent me. Apparently, he's saying a bunch of bad things about conservatives. No surprise there. That's Vaush. That's how he get down with his nasty self. Let's check this out. Don't forget to hit the like button.
Well, the question would be, why is Western civilization declining? Because late-stage capitalist theory is just an analysis of the economic conditions we're living under.
Well, let's talk about the cultural Marxism thing, because that's fun and silly, in my opinion. So, okay, you said cultural Marxism. Jordan Peterson has used the term cultural Marxism. He really uses the term postmodern neo-Marxism a bit more, which we can talk about postmodernism, because you yourself are a postmodernist, correct?
Probably. It's complicated, but yeah.
It's complicated. What are you, bro? Are you anything? It's okay to not be anything. You don't got to try to fall under something. That's why this guy, I don't even know who he is, but look like he like, yep, I got him. We got him, boys. We got him, boys. You don't even know what he is.
I'm highly sympathetic to their influences.
That sounds like something a postmodernist would say, but that's fair. So the implication is Jordan Peterson. First off, I disagree that he's using culture. When Jordan Peterson talks about cultural Marxism, he's not referencing a Nazi conspiracy. He's referring to the impact of Marxism on culture, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Which is what the Nazis were talking about.
So?
Okay, well, the Nazi...
So that means that's crazy. Yo, anyone like Vaush, right? There's a lot of people, especially within the content creation space, that thinks like him. It's impossible for multiple things to be true with them. If you think something of whatever policy or whatever, if there was someone who was bad that believed the same thing, automatically you must be like them, right? It's impossible for two things to be true. Like, that's crazy. If there was a TV show like Seinfeld, like that I find amazing, and there happened to be, I don't know, someone who commits a bunch of crimes and writes a manifesto about how much he loves Seinfeld. Now people are looking at me crazy because I like Seinfeld as well. That's dumb. But there's a lot of people that go by that philosophy.
These were not big fans of, Israel didn't exist yet, but the Nazis were not a big fan of Jewish people. And it's like, okay, if Ilhan Omar pushes for BDS, boycott, divest, sanction Israel, does that make her a Nazi because she agreed with Nazis?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with protesting Israel, but if she was an anti-Semite, I would say that's definitely a parallel between her.
Yeah, but the evidence that you're citing for Jordan Peterson being an anti-Semite is that he's repeating the talking points of Nazis.
Which makes no sense. This guy is saying the same thing I'm saying in a fancier way. Like, you're not having any backing for what you're accusing someone of being, besides they said one statement that this other thing or this other person said, so they must be like them. That's really stupid. If your only evidence is that he said something that sounds like someone else who happened to done a bunch of things. Like, fam, I think I was watching a live stream. It might have been Floyd. Shout out to Floyd. Where someone asked him in the stream, like, what do you define as evil? Because me personally, I don't think there's no such thing as 100% good and 100% evil. There are gray areas when it comes to morality and things of that nature, right? And he said one of the most brilliant things: actions. There's evil actions. That's how we define bad people. What did you do that was evil? Not what did you say that sounds similar to somebody else who happened to have done evil actions. If someone else does evil actions, but they have certain characteristics, does not mean someone else that has the same characteristics or says certain things that might sound similar is going to do the same evil actions. If you get what I'm saying.
I could just as easily say anyone who criticizes Israel is repeating the talking points of Nazis.
I'm only saying it's the same conspiracy theory. The idea that Frankfurt School academic intellectual communists infiltrated American culture and are destroying it from within. That's what I want to know. Why do people believe the West is in decline? I'm not entirely sure if I understand that. Our GDP is skyrocketing compared to that of China's, India's.
It sounds like you not talking about what was asked of you, Vaush. Is this the guy that everybody's afraid to debate that they say is so good? It sounds like he just does a whole lot of misdirection. Answer the damn question, man. That was a false equivalency that you keep doing with Jordan Peterson, and you're dancing around that.
Once you try the roomy toe box.
These niggas pumping these shoes.
worlds. We have the strongest military. I don't know what people mean when they say the West is in decline.
For a Marxist, that's a remarkably capitalist defense of the growth of the West, saying that the GDP has gone up. I believe life expectancy is going down. Mental health issues are increasing rapidly. People are deleting themselves to be TOS friendly at increasing rates. There's more and more polarization. The idea that what are people referring to when the civilization has declined?
He over here talking about some realness. Vaush over here grooming his beard. He trying to make sure his beard look nice. Make sure his colorful lighting is reflecting off of his shiny beard.
To me, that's an indication of how you might not be paying attention as close as you could, because I do. There are a lot of issues.
I'm being kind of facetious here. I know.
Why are you interrupting him? Why are you interrupting him? Give him his moment. Let him give his time to speak, and then you get your. What's the moderator doing? Moderator, he looking around the room.
We'll talk about the West being in decline. They're usually talking about cultural Marxism, immigration, Muslims, and leftism. I see a lot of West is in decline stuff whenever you see like drag queens, for example, because the West is in decline because they're wearing frilly clothing, for example. I hear the West is in decline in response to a lot of stuff. If the West was truly in decline over mental health issues, I'm not entirely sure why conservatives are so opposed to the concept of SSRIs.
I don't like when people group people all into one thing, right? Conservatives, right? Like, how do you know that? How do you know that every person who has conservative views or is conservative, they all agree on the same thing? That's not really the case. Right? There might be core values, but not every conservative agrees. The same way not every liberal would agree, or every leftist, and yada, yada, yada.
Or therapy broadly. It seems like
certainly Jordan Peterson is the opposite of that. He specifically says that if you've got mental health issues, you should give SSRIs a try. He's a clinical therapist himself.
In that respect, he might be better than the average conservative milieu, but the fear-mongering...
slightly kind Nazi, but not a slightly kind Nazi, but not an all the way bad one.
Oh, he is. I stand by the fascist accusation. Again, he talked.
You're literally not stating any points. We have someone who studied this in the chat who said SSRIs don't work for everyone and can make someone worse.
It's about cultural Marxism, on and on and on and on and on.
Okay, so are people who support Jordan Peterson, does that make them fascist by implication?
No, I mean, I think it means they like a fascist, but unfortunately in the current political climate, it seems pretty difficult to avoid that if you're...
This is so stupid. Vaush is probably the worst. Vaush might legitimately be the worst. It might be the worst. Man, he's horrible. This guy sucks at debating.
Even...
You're not making sense. He might just talk in a certain tone and throw some fancy words in there, and I guess his fans think he's actually making valid points. He's not. He's not at all.
Tolerant of like center-leaning media, because there's a lot of people there who are kind of like edging on the side of things.
Okay.
Hell are you talking about, Vaush?
The reason I'm pondering for a moment is because you understand what you're saying, what you've been saying the past few minutes is very different from what you say in many of your videos. Would you agree?
Well, I call him a fascist in those videos too.
Well, you say
you're not bringing up any points.
A variety of things about like conservatives in general.
He's not bringing up any kind of valid point. Yo, fam, give examples. Give actual examples. And besides, he said something that an actual fascist might have said coincidentally during a leap year that had nothing to do with their value principles. Well, Jordan Peterson said he likes eggs in the morning. I've seen fascists that like eggs in the morning, so he clearly must be one too.
Like that they're no different from the KKK. Conservatives today are no different from the KKK. I think the quote was frothing at the mouth, keeping black people away from integrated schools. You said that.
What?
And now it seems like you are not standing by those beliefs and taking it back and hiding your power level a bit.
No, I still stand with whatever it was I said back there. I don't think there's much of an ideological difference between a modern American conservative and a member of the Ku Klux Klan. It's just...
Wow. Wow, this man is crazy. Hey, I don't tell people who to support. I don't know how you could rock with this though, but I am a different person, so here's what it is. I couldn't fathom following someone. I could not fathom having to listen to this person say disgusting things like this. I would think that there's a huge difference, sir. I would think there's a huge difference between conservatives and triple Ks.
Just a continuation of existing ideals. You know, it's not exactly a conspiracy that there was like this huge wave of Ku Klux Klan support that was kind of backed by conservative politicians at the time. Those politicians lasted a long time too. And a lot of their ideological forebears, right up until the civil rights movement, you know, they were pretty open and friendly with a lot of really obviously anti-black stuff. And then civil rights movement happens, the act gets passed, and can't say the N-word anymore. But a lot of the same people stayed in office, and a lot of their children, friends, ran and won in their offices later.
So you don't think there's a single person who's with the K-Time 3 who's a Democrat? You don't think there's not one? Okay, this guy's crazy. Yeah, he's insane.
Makes you wonder just how much
He's
stuff
bugged out.
bottled up.
This
At any
man's
rate,
bugged
the
out.
ideology is still remarkably similar.
So
Xenophobia and nativism.
Yeah,
are
no, he's
big
not making any
driving
sense.
forces of modern conservatism, and I think Jordan Peterson plays into that
He's just talking just to talk. He's not making any actual sense.
quite a lot as well, largely with the cultural Marxism bit.
Yeah, I'm telling yo, fam, he's not gonna fool me. This dude is just talking just to talk. He doesn't have any actual point in any way, shape, or form. He's just talking. Right? This guy is crazy.
Okay. The reason I'm not being as warm and welcoming as I could otherwise be is what you said. The implication of what you said is that, for example,
He is really grooming his beard during this debate. This is what's more important to him.
conservative friends and
Brushing
family
his beard
members
up.
are no different than the Ku Klux Klan. Do you understand why that limits the degree to which I can take a lot of the other things you say seriously? And why
Yes.
many people in general don't take as much as you say seriously as they might otherwise?
Well, I'm not trying to
shouldn't
hide
take nothing he says
audacity.
serious.
I think it's a fairly straightforward assessment of where modern American conservatism is. I mean, do you think that families of the Ku Klux Klan back 120 years ago didn't talk with each other as normal people? Everybody thinks they're normal, right? But obviously
It's
with
But
retrospect,
it's just us
Crazy.
with conservative.
This guy's wilding, yo. Yo, he is wilding. He just saying whatever. He just, what? You know people that were down to triple Ks that wore black shirts sometimes on Fridays. So what are you saying, Vaush? I'm saying that if you're wearing a black shirt on Friday, then obviously you must be down with the triple Ks. Because Vaush says so. That is stupid. That's dumb.
Conservative friends and family members who are literally as bad as the Ku Klux Klan today. That's what you're saying. The Ku
What do
Klux
you
Klan
think-
who burned down the homes of black people with black children in them and
Right.
hung them. You're saying my friends and family members, people watching this who have friends and family members who are conservative, they're just as bad. That's what you're saying.
well, nowadays you would instead cheer on a racist policing
Yo, shut up. Fam, this is a prime example of someone that doesn't actually care about black issues or black struggle and none of that, but has no problem using it as a weapon to try to defeat whoever they think their enemy is. This is disgusting to me. I don't think Vaush care about nothing he actually saying. He just saying it. It's about whatever gets him attention. That's what he cares about.
system that's used to disproportionately
This is a
inflict
clown.
violence against black people. So you've sort of delegated the violence to a system, a very expensive one at that. Sheesh, at least the taxes didn't pay for the KKK. But fundamentally, I think that the parallels remain there. They're not the same in terms of like the exact extent of the harm they commit interpersonally. Obviously, I'm talking about ideological synchronicity. But yeah, no, I mean the modern American
He's crazy. This man is crazy, bro. That's what it falls down to. This man is bugged out.
conservative, right? This is a template of fascism. If I believe, for example, that Ron DeSantis and Trump are both fascists, which I do, and the GOP is a fascist org, why would I not believe then that conservatives in America today are themselves I mean, at least fascist sympathizers, right? Not individually, every single one of them is like an ideological fascist, but they're at the very least they're part of the movement. It's not meant as an insult. Obviously, I disagree with it, but
it's
I think
not meant as an insult. Hey, you and your friends and family who might have voted for Trump, they're as bad as the KKK. You don't understand why people.
Yeah, he's crazy, bro. He knows what he's doing. He's purposely, instead of actually having points, trying to ruffle feathers and throw you off your game. Right? He doesn't have any valid point of evidence for anything he's saying. He's just saying stuff.
Okta simplifies and streamlines customer identity at scale, so teams have time to focus.
I like to let it be silent sometimes so I can know where to cut.
Theologically descendant of the KKK. You can take it as an insult, but I think we have to reach that middle ground before we can have any reason.
You're not a Ku Klux Klan member who hates black people. You're just an ideological descendant of a Ku Klux Klan member who hates black people. I think that.
Yeah, he's just using black people as a weapon. That's all Vaush sees black people as, is just a weapon to use to defeat conservatives. It's the same game that Democrats have been using. The same thing as the president of a country going on a big radio station and saying, "You not black if you don't vote for him." This is literally the same thing that it happens all the time on mainstream media.
That is a condescending defense of an indefensible position.
Well, it's not meant. I'm not meant to be Weasley when I say that. I just genuinely think that is the case, right? I mean, like we would have to acknowledge, for example, that the conservative parties in modern day Germany would have had ideological roots in Nazis, right? Hold on. The conservative party, the current leader of Italy, for example, literally like a direct lineage of the supporters of Mussolini.
What the hell does that have to do? What does that have to do with conservatives being aligned with the triple Ks? That's so stupid. Yo, man, I'm losing hair just listening to this.
So?
That's why his beard looks like that. He gets to summon all my lost hair follicles. That's you think I'm not on to you, a wizard. That's his trick, right? That's why he brushing, right? He brushing it the whole time. He trying to get well groomed, and it's all the hair from everyone who ever had to listen to his bull crap. It gets drawn in and makes his beard stronger.
I think it would be fair then to say the people who voted for him would be ideologically in line with it.
I understand the formula of the argument you're making. You said you genuinely believe in what you're saying. So you're saying, do you have any friends? Do you hang out with anyone who is a fascist or a conservative, although it's the same word? Do you have any friends who are? Yeah, I'll leave it open because. Do
you have any conservative friends? Don't set the trap up. Don't just tell him what the trap is. Ask him if he got conservative friends.
There are a couple of online people I talk to friendly who are, I would consider such, yes.
Okay, so if you believe that conservatives are literally Ku Klux Klan members,
you're friends with them,
ideological descendants. We'll keep it tight. Why are you hanging out with them?
Right.
Well, what does that say about you and your character?
I mean, some people might disagree. There are people on the left who get mad at me, by the way. They got mad at me for being friends with Shu.
Oh my gosh. Answer the question. It's like pulling teeth. Answer the question, dude.
Still do. They're mad at me for all sorts of things. But their opinions aren't really what matters here, right? I don't think it morally compromises me to have a friendly conversation with a person of any ideological disposition. I've never been the kind of person who thought that every interaction you have with somebody you disagree with has to be like a shouting match. But I feel like this is genuinely not directed as an insult. Okay, so whatever you may think. Okay, here, out of curiosity, what do you think of communism? Of the ideology, what do you think of its lineage, of its effect?
There are some things I like better than communism.
Some things.
Yeah, like ice cream.
Okay. Yes. I didn't expect that. He said like ice cream.
Okay, gotcha. But you would probably put it below the 50-50 part, right?
Probably. That's a fair statement.
So whatever associations you may have with communism, you could fairly draw that line to me for my ideology and its precedent, you know? Whatever use you'd think you would get out of this discussion for it, you know, if we were talking about something like that specifically. But my goal here is not, oh, haha, now that I have denounced you as the fascist, we can move on, we can leave, you are bad now. My goal is, you know, these are the ideal.
Man, you ain't got no goals. Man, come on, you just talking. Just blatantly talking, man. This dude not saying nothing. Like, come on. Like, I never fell for this BS. I guess his fans fall for it. You ain't catching me, Vaush. I know jibber jabber when I hear
theological roots of where you're coming from. This is like the
so what is your goal? Is your goal, I'm just a genuine question.
He don't have
and let me just say, I have a lot of thoughts based on the last.
Look at him grooming his beard. Look at him grooming his beard. That's the priority to them.
20 minutes of our conversation. I have said specifically that I do not think that you are a uniquely bad person, or you're not capable of any unique level of harm that anyone else is, right? You've had cameras on, you have a huge audience. So naturally the impact of everything you say is going to be worse, but there's nothing you...
We ain't learning nothing from this. I'm ending it right here. I'm going to be honest with you. We ain't learning nothing new. Vaush is nasty. I never will be able to respect him. Never going to be able to respect him. It's just a lot of clown behavior, in my personal opinion.